Yes.
Let's talk something important that I wanted to talk about with Josh Appel. Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't want to give away any spoilers, so we're not going to give away any spoilers because I know some people were watching the Grammys last night, maybe didn't have a chance to watch it. But episode 1, final season of Curb. Appel is a huge Curb fan. I said at the beginning of the show, I thought it was extremely disappointing. I'll give it a C- at best. Last night's episode. What would you give it?
I liked it. It felt like Curb to me. And here's the thing. It's very hard for me to like dislike something. And I thought there was enough good in last night's episode where I enjoyed it. There was some, I'm not looking for like a full, thorough story from Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I mean, it's a television show. You're not looking for a beginning, middle, and end.
I'm looking for it did have a beginning, middle, and end. I'm looking for just like the classic Larry David uncomfortable moments, and I got plenty of those.
But that's kind of, you know what? Now that I think about it, it's almost like I've heard an adult film where there's not, it's like, hey, we have a good idea for this scene, we have a good idea for that scene, and we have a good idea for this scene. What happens in between, we don't really care. It's going to go from this room to that room, and then this person's going to walk in at the end. It's going to surprise everybody.
You want character building?
It's a television show. It's an award. Yes, it's
comedy show.
It's an award-winning television show. Yes, I would like some characters.
It's like if you go to like a Marvel movie or you go see Godzilla vs. Kong and you go walk out of it and you say, that didn't seem realistic enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not that it wasn't realistic, and there were parts where you're like, oh, come on. But you have to have, if you launch up a story line, it can't just disappear into thin air because you wanted to get a scene in there. You know what I mean? That's lazy television making.
It's just being funny.
Like, yeah, but
you go in there to laugh. You don't go in to have the most.
Then make it a sketch show. No, I'm not kidding you. Then make it the Larry David sketch show. If it doesn't have anything that's going to weave it all together, it's lazy. It's lazy.
Here's the thing, though, Channing. Like a month and a half, 2 months ago, in the Whittingham Hochman Appel group text, Whitty and I both called it that like before the episode came out, 30 minutes at the end, he's gonna hate it. You've hated the last like 3 seasons of Curb.
It's been lazy.
You just have like this such a high standard at the he's going out with a bang, he's just wants to have fun with Jeff Garland and Susie Essman and JB Smoove. Don't have fun. Like, who cares?
Okay, then don't call it Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like you can't like. It's like, hey, the show's been so good. Let's just have fun now.
I'm
like,
just saying that
do the show or do something else.
All I'm saying is that you already have decided that you don't like
not
it.
at all.
So
Not at all.
Your socks
I thought
yeah.
the first 10 minutes was brilliant, and I thought it was pacing to be a brilliant start to the season, and it jumped off a cliff, like painful.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I mean, my wife and I are looking at each other like, yee, what was that?
But how were you looking at, I'll bring it back to sports, were you looking at Washington Wizard Jordan and Arizona Cardinal Emmitt Smith like they were supposed to be at their prime? They're old. They're kind of like what Josh is saying, like, we've done this so long.
But
people love us. Let me just stay in the game.
Right. No. I'm okay with that. Again, but like, put a modicum of effort into making it a story. It's a 30-minute sitcom. I don't care that it's Larry David and Jeff Garland. It's still 30 minutes of television. Put a little more effort in, Lair.
You can't call him Lair.
I feel like I know him well enough to call him Lair.
I don't think you do.
I think your bar was too high, Hawk. I think
it's an award-winning show. Why wouldn't it's considered one of the best shows ever? Yeah. They set a pretty high bar.
No, but when you just dislike something so like you go into it like wanting to dislike it and looking for things.
Why would I want to dislike it? I looked forward to that show more than I've looked forward to a show in 5 years.
You want to dislike it, so you can come on the air and talk about how much you dislike it. Of course it's true. Of course it's true.
Absolutely not true.
In a couple of years, Hawk.
Because it hasn't been good. I'll tell the truth. The truth is, and he doesn't want to say it, but the truth is it wasn't very good last night. Like, nobody wants to look forward to something for a couple of months, and then it gets there, and you listen to it, you watch it, you sit there, you're excited all day. You don't want to say, like, that really wasn't worth all my time and energy. And it wasn't. I'm not afraid to say it, though.
I'm not saying that it was the best episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm of all time. I'm just saying I enjoyed it. We talked before the show. I had some nitpicks about the episode. It's not immune to criticism, but like I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I felt like I was watching Curb.
I had a good time. I had a good time.
Did you?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like you did.
I had a good time, but I mean,
Cordial?
I'm paying for HBO. And if you're going to put out something under the moniker Curb Your Enthusiasm, put a little more effort in. That's all I'm saying.
Change the name.
It's the final season. Where's Vince Vaughn last night?
It's your good friend.
I mean, where is he? It's the final season. Like, what are we doing here? We're wasting episodes without Richard Lewis? Like, we're just going to waste episodes here on the final season? Get out of here.
Yeah, sounds like you really enjoyed it.
I had a great time.
Yeah,
Loved it.
great.
It was funny. Funny as hell. Somebody, this guy Funhouse, you ever follow that guy on Twitter? He used to tweet about everything Mike Francesa said on WFAN, and now he does it for Colin Cowherd. Like, he just torches Colin Cowherd all day. He just tweeted out, last night's Curb was unbelievable. Top 5 episode, in my opinion. I mean, as my wife says, there's a lid for every pot. I don't understand it. I thought it was wildly disappointing.
You've been bad-mouthing it for 3 years.
I have not. I love that show. I love that
You
show.
look forward to it, appointment watching, and every time you watch one, you come in and say it was underachieving.
It has underachieved. It has, but I love that show.
He's not wrong about the last season. Hawk, and I love Curb too. That last season, like with the whole Spike coffee store.
I mean, it was like silliness.
Yeah,
it was like silliness.
It wasn't like, it was fine. I watched all the seasons and I enjoyed it. And I didn't get to watch last night because he played. I'll watch it tonight. But Hawk's not wrong about the last season. It was underwhelming.
Why do you think they're announcing this is the last season?
Is this the last season?
Because they're running out of crap.
No, I get it.
So
I get it.
They're stopping it because they're
Why are you apologizing for a show that's fallen off qualitatively? Like what? Why?
Because I hear you talk with other people. Is that a quantitatively?
Qualitatively.
Oh,
It's just unnecessary to use it there, though.
Oh, you're talking about
it's fallen off in quality. It's fallen off qualitatively.
Right. You didn't have to use that.
Everybody.
Well, how else would I have explained what I wanted to say there?
It's fallen off in quality. That would have been perfect.
But it's exactly what I said.
Nobody uses qualitatively.
Well, nobody in your family uses qualitatively.
The reason is because I haven't even seen it, and I'm not a huge. Y'all are way bigger Curb fan. I know you have a nickname for it. But I hear people argue with you all the time about this because you make the point, and they're like, "No, it's not. It's just it's not as great as it used to be. It's not terrible." You act like
isn't there a series that you watched and then the last season you said was terrible?
Oh, Game of Thrones couldn't make it through 5 seasons. It just got boring. The same thing.
Well, maybe you got boring. Maybe your barometer's too high. Like, I mean, I don't understand what you're doing there. Like, you noticed that the show got worse.
No, I didn't know it got worse. It got repetitive.
It got worse.
No, it's the same thing that used to happen. I just seen death, people rubbing on their cousins.
By the end of the series, you were like, this isn't holding my interest anymore. I didn't hear you apologizing for Game of Thrones. I'm doing the same thing for Curb.
You're being unreasonable.
Well, why weren't you being unreasonable with Game of Thrones?
Because I didn't say it fell off. I said it's repetitive.
But you stopped watching it because you said it was terrible.
I didn't say I said it got boring.
Well, that's not. That means it got bad. So it was great.
No,
and then it got boring.
It got repetitive.
Boring.
Is Larry and JB Smooth, and are they just doing the same jokes over and over and over and over and over and over again?
I mean, it's just, I'm not characterizing it that way. I think it's lazy. I think it's gotten lazy.
And Crowder will argue. And I mean, you didn't even watch Game of Thrones, you phony.
I watched.
He doesn't even watch Curb.
I don't.
So what are you apologizing for?
I hear people argue with you about it, and I've kind of got the gist of others' opinions of this damn show and how you don't like it, and everybody's like, "It's great."
I love it,
but you don't love it because you talk bad.
No, I'm honest about it. I can love the show and say that I can love an actor. I can love Robert De Niro. What a great actor. Las Vegas, was I don't even know if he was in that, but what a piece of garbage. You know what I mean? Like, I can love something and say, you know what? That really wasn't up to par with its work. And that's the situation with Curb.
Okay.
So our show Super Bowl picks. We've got Josh Chappelle down with the Chiefs.
Mm.
We'll get OG in the next segment.
Mm-hmm.
When are we doing our official Super Bowl pick? We kind of have already, right? I think we all have money on the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kansas City is going to win, period. I just think I think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are superior to Brock Purdy. To me, it's coach, quarterback is always going to be 1A, 1B. And I just think that Reid and Mahomes, until they prove to me that they're not the dudes, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
And I'm with you. And San Fran, the reason why they're favored is because they're very talented. But to your point, Andy Reid's going to find a way to affect Nick Bosa, do all the screens and stuff to slow down him and Chase Young, Fred Warner. He's not going to fool it in the middle. He's going to find guys to pick on in that San Francisco secondary. And it's Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball to whoever it is. If it's Kadarius Toney, if it's Mandav, Scantley, whatever his name is, Travis Kelce's going to get 10 catches, and they're going to end up winning the game.
Wow, so we're Chiefs across the board, man.
Yeah, man.
I think so.
Oh, wait, listen. When I was arguing dead to my soul about the Baltimore Ravens being one of the best teams I've ever seen in my life, and they go out there and whoop the Ravens, I said it the next day. I said, I'm riding with the Chiefs.
I just don't understand doubting Patrick Mahomes in any of these situations.
See, Hawk, look at that. I'm not arguing. Hawk tightened me up on this one, Solana. No argument.
Somebody texts in, Hoch complaining about Curb is a better Curb episode than most of the last 2 seasons.
Who is that?
Spite store. I mean, like, I'll suspend my belief for the quirky Curb bits, but come on. He's going to open a coffee shop to spite. I mean, come on. What are you doing here?
Funny concept. Undercutters.
Well, no, if you want to undercut somebody, it's one thing. But if you just want to open it and you don't care if it succeeds or fails, you just want to spite someone else, get out of here.
So you're Super
Well, it's
Bowl...
kind of what Elon Musk did with Twitter.
And a bunch of unneeded money just to change the name and make somebody look bad.
You spent a lot more money than opening up a coffee shop, though, brother.
That's true.
You ever watch the Tom Green show?
Yeah, on MTV like years ago.
Not just when I said undercutters. Did you remember his pizza one?
Yes. He would run up to the door
and have a
tackle box filled with toppings. Yeah. Brilliant. What a great sketch that was.
Undercutters. That whole song.
Funny. They would follow around. And they did this legitimately. So I don't know if you ever watched Tom Green show, but they would follow a pizza delivery guy. And as the pizza delivery guy was walking up to the door, he would run in, knock on the door. He'd have a big cheese pizza and then a tackle box filled with and he'd go, I'll sell this to you for $2 less than whatever you paid. You tell me whatever toppings you want on it.
He started just snatching pepperoni out of his tackle box, throwing it on top. And then they had a whole song. That was hilarious.